You've been reflecting on your coaching practice and wondering, maybe you're ready, or it's time, or you met someone at an event who happens to carry a job title with a C, standing for chief, in front of it. Some of you is excited, and some other parts of you are terrified, or maybe a bunch in the middle. The most important tip I want to give you, and then I'm going to give you a whole bunch more, is take a deep breath. You are a human being, they are a human being with aspirations and challenges both. And if you've built a relationship that's built on your authenticity, you're ready. There are several things that are different about working with an executive that is responsible for the scope and scale of the entire organization. Most people think of that as the CEO, but the truth is, if you've made it to the C-suite, you might have a functional expertise, but your most important responsibility is a fiduciary one to the entire organization. Everybody in the C-suite carries that overall systemic responsibility for outcomes and for the quality and safety and integrity of how work gets done in that organization. Their team meetings are always talking about the many ripple effects of any single decision, as well as the unintended consequences outside of the organization to communities, to customers, to the industry leadership, and ultimately to the economics that are associated in the communities they operate. What am I just describing? Maybe you remember Economics 101 in college? Yes. Learning to think about the business on the business's terms. This is the big mistake a lot of coaches make. Well, I don't really need to know what the business is up to because my work is about creating awareness on behalf of the leader. You're half right. However, in order to build rapport and to build a relationship that creates an opportunity, an environment, the conditions for a leader to confidently say to you, you know what, I don't know what I want to do here. Opening the door for you to do the coaching, that arises out of having created a trusting relationship that says, I care about you, leader. I care about what you care about. I care about your organization. And I'm as invested in you achieving the organization's outcomes as I am in you achieving your own personal outcomes. Now, let's take that really even a step layer underneath it. In a practical way, that means learning the language of business. So if you've never worked inside of an organization, private or public, doesn't matter, but an organization meaning more than two people, I suppose actually partnerships do count here, but you've said C-suite. So that means there's at least a CEO, probably a chief financial officer, also usually a chief marketing officer, chief operations officer, and these days a chief information or chief technology officer. Now we have a team of 6. And underneath them are anywhere from 100 to 100,000 to several 100,000 employees. And they're thinking about those people's livelihoods, productivity, teaming, and ultimately how their work processes create profitability in the organization. This is what I mean about learning the language of business beyond the way of thinking as a system and all the ripple effects outside of the walls of the organization. Even if they're a virtual organization, imagine in your mind's eye that however they're distributed around planet Earth, those are the walls of the organization. So the third piece that I think is really important is that you are able to articulate how you coach in a way that connects that leader's key performance indicators, how they define what is success in their scope of role, to the focus of attention on your coaching plan. Usually that's going to be some behavior they want to strengthen, or perhaps a mindset they want to shift, or reconnecting with their sense of purpose and restoring a sense of vitality. These are all just some examples that are likely to arise. You're not there to have conversation about transactions or activity that the client will do, but rather what motivates them to pursue path A, path B, path C. How thoroughly have they considered the risk management associated with those different paths? What is the way in which they're collecting information and collaborating with their teams? How are they articulating the vision of where they want to go? Your opportunity is to help them gain clarity from the inside out. All of that, of course, leans into everyone's foundational work of the core competencies of the ICF. Back to where I started here, you have a human being in front of you who's thinking systemically about a big scale of business responsible for lots of people, not just themselves. Your ability to think about that complexity and stay grounded in asking the questions that empower the leader is your key to success. You will find a link below so that you could either pre-order, depending on when you watch this video, or order from Amazon.com my latest book, From Tension to Transformation, A Leader's Guide to Generative Change. Why would you want to do this as a coach? Because it is full of examples and stories of leaders who are navigating tension, which is natural in the workplace. And yes, your focus of attention as a coach. And also some techniques that you can use to help them navigate that with success.